Welcome back to another edition of Racing Tonight. We are here with the GT3 series at Charlotte. My name is Andrew Spears. My co-host Rob McDonald. We are the United Racing Network. I'm excited to be here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this puts two of our biggest series almost together. I mean,
Almost.
you got the Charlotte Oval mixed with the infield road section
Yep.
and slammed together. I mean, so it's going to make an interesting night of racing for sure.
Yeah, and it's going to be fast. These cars are going to get around this track. It's a technical track. It's one of the more technical road courses that NASCAR tracks offer. You have one that Homestead has, not Homestead. Homestead does have a road course, but you have one that New Hampshire has, where you go outside the track and you go up some down some hills and stuff like that. But this has a lot of unique turns, has a lot of unique areas, and at some parts of this racetrack, there's two different driving lines, or one's going one way, the other one's going the other way, and the only thing protecting you is the barrier, which is the start of turn 1 and 2.
Yep. And I mean, like you said, these guys are moving around this track really fast. And I mean, our best lap right now is 1:14. So, I mean, they're moving. I mean, 1:14 to cover 2.28 miles. So
They're booking it there.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I heard about something that happened last week.
Yep.
We were unable to video or to broadcast that race, which they were at. I butchered the name, but I call it Mount Panorama. That's what the people know it as, is Mount Panorama. And we had a pretty big incident happen with Mike Weir and JP Alfonso. Now them two are going to battle tonight. Mike Weir is having to start in the pits, if that gives you any idea what happened. Both were aggressively driving till the end. Let's go back and take a look at what happened last week. So you can see JP is fighting for the spot here for that position. And, he's fighting. This is for first place. As they enter the last turn onto the front stretch, Mike Weir does get into him. Now, JP thinks he's fine. He thinks he's going to be able to walk away with this. But he runs into an issue going into the S turn, coming down to the final turn. So you'll see it here in just a second. As they're battling, they're super battling hard. He ends up finding out here that he has some damage as he goes off track. As they enter the stretch down to the final turn, Mike Weir is on him, wants that position, kind of cuts into the pit lane, grabs him, and they both just start banging and beating, and, well, they get turned around. And that messes JP's car up. Mike Weir had some damage, and they just take off from there, trying to get something going. JP does get around and get back in the first position, but as you can see here, there's just too much damage on the car for him to control it, and Mike Weir takes that position for first. So that's major, Rob. That's definitely major tonight with these two, because they're going to have to think about what happened last week and not let it happen again tonight. But I think JP may be coming back for some payback. Monza. Well, they call that a cold turkey or something like that. Yeah, and I think that he will fight to get it tonight. But I want to talk about Mason Neal. Mason Neal is currently holding the number one position. Now, he's currently sitting on pit road, but he currently holds the number one position in practice. Now, we've said it time and time again, practice don't mean nothing, but we may have something here, because Mason Neal is an avid. He's great at racing NASCARs. He wins, a lot of races a season. And we're at a track that he's familiar with on both courses, because he's familiar with the outside on the actual oval, and he's also familiar with the road course because NASCAR does the Roval as well. Yeah. You said he was. Yeah, he's 7. You said 7/10. Yep, 7/10. To make sure our timing screens are matching up there. But yeah, you're definitely accurate there, and we're gonna have these guys battling all night long for positions. We got some places on track to look out for now. Where are they, Rob? Okay. Well, I want to go ahead and talk about it while he gets his stuff figured out, while we can get production team on that. The chicane in the back, on the back stretch, is going to be a place where people may get collected tonight. Also, right there, as you watch on screen, as they come to the front stretch to the start-finish line, that's also a place where they get an issue or may have an issue at. So it's definitely for sure. May have been on my end. Rob, say something?
Yeah.
I think we got you back.
All right.
I pressed the button, but it didn't do anything.
Oh, well, there you go.
Technology's been beating us in the butt.
Yeah.
But anyhow, what we were saying was these guys are going to be battling all night long, and we were talking about Mason Neal. Now, Mason Neal is leading in points, right? I mean, leading in the race right now in practice. And I think that's really because he knows this track like he does a NASCAR track, because they also races this track in NASCAR, and he knows that track. And if you can take a stock car around this track, you can take a GT3 car around this track for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And, maybe that will give him a little bit of an advantage tonight, because, I mean, you're looking at the normal road race drivers, and they're slower than he is. And, I mean, it's not by much, but it's still slower. So for, like you said, for a stock car driver to come out here in these GT3 cars and throw the times they're throwing out, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with tonight.
Yeah. And we'll see when we get to the when we get to the qualifying session, what these guys are going to be looking like here as far as like their official times, because these guys have had some time to put some wear and tear on their tires and kind of get them broke in. You have one lap to get your tires heated up to a point of qualifying when we get into qualifying. So that'll be a big thing to look at for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, like you said, tires will be a thing. They'll be on fresh tires when they start qualifying. And it's fairly cold out tonight, is it not?
Yeah. So looking at the weather tonight, guys, we currently are sitting with a track temp of 67 degrees. And the weather outside, as far as air temperature, is 64 degrees. Humidity's at 56%. And we have partly cloudy with winds out of the east going to the west. I'm sorry, winds out of the west going to the east. So they're going to be loose tonight because that track is, I mean, it's a little fairly cooler than normal. Like I was talking about 2 weeks ago, the optimal racing temperature for these tires are between 85 and 100 degrees.
Yeah, so I mean, they're going to be a little harder. They're going to be a little slicker. So it'll be interesting to see when these tires come into effect. We're probably, probably about 3-4 laps in, they'll get to their proper temperature where they'll have the grip that they need to get around this track. So yeah, we'll just see about that because that's going to be a huge issue tonight.
Yeah, and hopefully when we get into the qualifying session, the temperature may rise a little bit, but it is nighttime in Charlotte in the springtime, so it's gonna be something to look after. So,
for sure.
So, go ahead.
So we got about 8 minutes left in practice. Now I know you want to wait for qualifying to pick your pick, but I think we should pick them now. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Mason Neal just because of his time that he has in practice. Looking at seeing what he has here, he's got some practices where you go and look at whenever we have these guys have been out on track for a little while. Is what I'm getting at. Yeah.
And nobody's taken that position from him. Now, granted, I say that this is for practices is for best time.
Mhm.
But, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out in the end if Mason Neal can hold off the defending two-time winner in the last 3 weeks, JP Alfonso and Mike Weir. So, because Mike Weir ended up winning last week.
Yeah, so my pick tonight is going to be Eric McMullet-McCready. So, reason I'm picking him is each week we see him, he's sitting in the top. He's sitting in the top 3, top 5. He's always a contender, and he's there just waiting for somebody to make a mistake. And, people do make mistakes. We're not machines. And, driving around machines, it amplifies that a little more.
Yeah.
So he may be sitting second in practice right now. He may get second in qualifying and then just sit there and wait for, number 1, number 2 to make a mistake and then capitalize on it.
Yeah. And that's very true. But I'm going to do an honorable mention tonight, and that's going to be for Eddie Baker. Now, I've not picked him for a little while, but he's currently sitting third for practice.
Yep.
And he's also an avid NASCAR driver, an avid stock car driver. So we've got a bunch of guys here that race stock cars that are in this race tonight. So if Neil does not get it, I'm hoping Eddie does.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. I mean, it'd be nice for, one of the stock car boys to, take tonight and just kind of rub it in the face to the road racers and just be like, hey, look, I run a stock car and I won this, so you need to step up your game a little bit.
So, as we round out the rest of practice, what are some places on track tonight, Rob, that we should see some incidents tonight?
Well, for incidents, you're going to look at, the 2 chicanes, one on the front stretch before turn 1 and one on the back stretch in turns 11 and 12. Even though, in 2019, the backstretch chicane was redesigned and it was actually increased in width from 32 feet to 54 feet. Now, with that design, however, it requires heavier braking and sharper entry, but it also allows for better passing.
Yes, but it may collect some people, will it not?
It could collect some people just because you have to do that heavier braking that you don't really have to do on the rest of the rest of the track.
Yeah.
That's where we're going to look for any incidents to come from, really.
Yeah. And I think there's someplace else to look at tonight, Rob, and it's going to be turn 1 going up to the bridge. That gets everybody every year, and I believe we may see a full-course caution tonight because that bridge is narrow.
It is. So, I mean, if there is a blockage, they may throw a full-course caution just so that they can get that cleared up.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with especially the first 2 to 3 laps. It's going to be interesting to see until people start fanning out and getting into their individual battles. It's going to be interesting to see for sure. So
yeah.
All right. Well, we have just a few minutes left before we go into our qualifying sessions. We're going to take this time to hear a word from our sponsors. And Rob, I think it's too late for me to go use the restroom, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, we got about 8 minutes left of practice, and then we're right into qualifying. So
8 minutes left. Okay. Well, I may have a little bit of time.
Or 7 minutes.
It's all good. So, talking about some of the close finishes we've had this season since we've been broadcasting GT3. The closest one we've had was Monza.
Yep.
They won Monza by
I believe it was 1/1000th of a second.
And that was between Mike Ware.
No, that was
No, Eric
between GP
McCready.
Alfonso and Eric McCready.
So the one from last week was JP and Mike Ware, but JP ended up hitting that accident from Mike Ware. I'm going to go ahead and call it. Mike Ware calls that accident. From what I've been seeing, what I've been watching back from replays, just a little bit of aggressive driving, and that is going to cause him. The race officials actually give him a penalty for that for this race. Where's he going to start at tonight?
So he's going to be starting from the pits. So, I mean, essentially, he's going to be starting last.
And I wonder how they'll do that,
mean,
because you actually have an advantage when you start off on pit road. Do they have to wait for everybody to pass the line? Do they have to wait till they get to a certain turn? I don't know the exact details of the penalty, so we're gonna have to wait and see what happens tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure they'll have to wait till they cross the line before they can go, and then you'll have to carry on down pit road at pit road speeds. So,
but that pit road makes a 90, and then you're basically through the bridge and can get up to speed. So it may not affect him at all tonight, really.
It may or may not. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, we've never experienced a penalty like this, while we've been broadcasting. So we're not 100% on that. But even if it goes the way I'm saying, he's going to have to work. Regardless, he's going to have to work through the field to get up to that top position.
Yeah. And there's a lot of places to battle at tonight on this track. Some of the biggest places I believe people are going to be battling is going to be through the turns. Actually, the guy that's going in right now is going to be in it. Turns number 9 and 10. And then that backstretch before the chicane. People will be diving all night long coming off that backstretch. And something that I want to point out here is this GT3 or the Roval race.
I hit you way over there, Don. Sorry.
Okay. I don't know where I heard that from. I'm going to take us to the booth real quick. But what I was saying was it's weird to see, or it's going to be cool to see how they do it tonight, because people are going to be definitely diving tonight in these chicanes, trying to get something going. The best way to pass at this track is going to be down low. And actually, between 9 and 10 and, 11 and 12 was the two bends on the corners. Is that right?
Yep.
You can actually go below the white line here. So that's going to be neat to see, because that's not usually how it is when the stock cars come here. You have to stay above the white line on the bank. Here they don't have to.
Yeah. So I mean, like we saw at, well, you see it all the time, passing on the grass. Well, they may not get down to the grass, but as you see, them going below the white line. Oh, he's going to the pits. Never mind.
Yeah, but they'll go on the white line, though. When I was doing my MX-5 racing here, when we did it a few weeks ago, that's something I learned. I didn't know I could do that, but I gained almost 3 seconds on my time by dipping down below that line like that.
Okay.
So, I mean, you could definitely get something going there for sure.
Now, the thing is, with coming down off that white line, when you hit that apron, is that going to cause an issue?
It did when I got further into the race of the MX-5s and I didn't have my tires like I did at the beginning of the race. It did make me loose.
Okay.
So I will agree that was a little weird, learning how to fight the car and keep it back on track. But as you see David Tamara here, he's going to get up on that side, and he's going to keep it up there. I've seen some guys tonight actually dip below that line, so it's going to be crazy to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, but the road coursers may stay above that white line, but the stock car guys might drop below it.
Think so?
I mean, because I mean, they're used to driving it on that line, right? So, I mean, the road racers aren't really all that used to racing this track, obviously.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with the practice with they know how to handle, that transition between the track and the apron. So,
Yeah, and something else I wanna do a shout out to, and that's Brian Mansfield. He is our lone rookie tonight, racing with a bunch of very experienced drivers in road, and he's not sitting in last. He's currently sitting 12th in practice times.
Yeah.
He's also a road racer. I mean, he's also a NASCAR racer. Does a oval a lot, and has run this track multiple times. Actually, probably had a few wins here. So he may be somebody in contention at the end of this.
He could be. And I mean, we're coming down to the last minute of practice. Look, we'll get ready for some qualifying, and we'll get these times nailed down.
Yeah.
Because it does look like McCready did close that little gap that he had between Neil and himself, but only by 1/10 of a second. So I mean, he's still, 0.6 back. So
Yeah.
he may be in there, seeing if he can talk to Neil and be like, hey, give me some pointers here.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really excited to see how this race ends tonight. I think it's going to be close as long as nothing happens up front. I think unless I think somebody's going to walk away with it, but I believe there's going to be a few people walk away with it, and that's going to be the people that's more experienced at this track. We were hearing from JP in pre-race before we come to production that he is not doing well here, or he's told us that he may not do well here, and this is just my thought process. It may be because this is not somewhere normal that the GT3 cars go.
It could be that. I mean, I saw him out on the track, but he never posted a time. So, is he still trying to get a feel for the track? Can he not get the car around the track it's hard to say.
Yeah. So as we go into qualifying here, we're going to ride along with Mike Weir. He does have our in-car camera tonight. And you can see him trying to get every bit of tire warm-up he has, or he can here. But
Warming
let's
up
ride
the brakes, warming up the tires.
Yep. So we're going to ride along with him for his out lap. We're going to see how he warms up, and then we're going to follow along with somebody else. This camera is sponsored by Admin Box tonight. They provided us the equipment needed to attach it to his headrest or to his Hans device, so we can see exactly what he's doing in the car. We've got a few of these cameras like this set up, so we're going to ride along with a few people tonight.
There's a beautiful view in these cars, too.
Yeah, it is. You can see exactly what the driver's seeing. And he's driving the Ferrari. I like the Ferrari. That's what I've been racing on my licenses.
Yeah.
In the official races for iRacing.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't made it out of rookie yet, so.
I finally got promoted. I probably am available for promotion to the C class for NASCAR. So.
Oh, well, there you go.
Or for Oval.
Yeah.
All right. As we enter the final chicane here, we're going to ride along to see what type of lap time he has. So here we go.
Yeah, so there's that turn one going into the bridge and how narrow it is that you said earlier. And, I mean, it's probably, maybe 2.5 cars wide?
If that. But you definitely won't be a third car sticking your nose in there for sure. Looks like he is going to keep it up on the curve tonight, or on the corner there, into the bank. You do get some centrifugal motion there. I guess I'm using that word right. Maybe I'm not. But you do get some force. Downforce. That's what I say. Centrifugal motion.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing that tonight. That's when they spin.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
Jesus. And these chicanes, if you see, they're going to hit them right there about the middle and basically cut them in half. That's a good lap by Mike Weir. Let's see where it puts him at. Puts him in 4th currently.
Behind Mason Neal and behind Roger Clark and Brian Mansfield, surprisingly.
Brian Mansfield's currently sitting in 4th. Roger Clark is currently sitting in 3rd. But we just had
JP Alfonso just posted a 1:15.14.
Wow.
Eddie Baker posted the same time.
Yes, they did. So I think it will be, if it's like that, I think they'll take it to whoever had the fastest or the top speed. And that is currently setting, well, maybe not, because Eddie Baker. The officials have timing screens that go into the 100 millionth of a second. Yeah. So they can see, who got the faster lap. But it's showing to be Eddie Baker.
Well, I mean, they still got 1 lap to go, so.
Let's watch JP go through the chicane. You can see he's very small movements with that wheel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you only need small movements with the wheel. I mean, look how big the wheel is. It's like 8 inches in diameter.
Yeah.
It comes through that last chicane.
And JP is going to have a 114.97, currently sitting behind Mason Neal, who has a 114.63.
Yeah, so 3/10 of a second.
Yep.
That's interesting for sure.
Going through and look at some of these guys. Just a reminder, these guys are doing long qualifying, so anybody you see on track, they're not racing together. They're just racing for that speed as Jamie Maudsley goes off into the grass there.
I believe that was on his. Well, that wasn't on his out lap. So.
Yep. And here's Norman Chan. He ended up winning last night in the opening race for the Indy Series.
Yep.
It's a short season. Be sure to check that out on Tuesday nights, starting at, I believe it's 6:45.
6:45 Central, 7:45 Eastern.
Yes. Look, I'll say 6:45. You say 7:45. Okay.
Okay, that works. So I mean, if you're Eddie Baker right now, you got to be feeling really good.
Yeah, but you know who should feel even better? Brian Mansfield. Yes.
Yep.
I knew he may. I just had a feeling he would come into this tonight and want to race, because I mean it's a NASCAR track and he's a NASCAR guy. Yeah, and as you see, that's what I'm talking about. Norman Chan is hitting that low line. That's what I'm talking about tonight. You can make it all the way down to the yellow line. Sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah, that's all right. But is that really going to help the time, though? Because, I mean, he's still sitting with a 1:19.98.
That's true. I don't know.
I mean, that last lap was a 1:20.37. So, I mean, is it really that much of a difference to dive below that white line?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean, I'm sure only time will tell when, we see the other guys hit the track. But I don't know if it'll be that much of an advantage tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see as we move on tonight. And let's just look over at the race info one more time, just so people that may be tuning in can take a look at it. We are currently sitting with the air temperature of 64 degrees, track temperature is 66 degrees, not a lot of variation there. It's got a humidity of 57% here at Charlotte tonight. Partly cloudy skies, the wind out of the west heading to the east. We are currently sitting at an elevation of 676 feet above sea level, and the track is just about 2.25 miles long. So, you still good with your pick, right?
Yeah, I'm still good with my pick.
And who's your pick one more time?
Eric McCready.
Eric McCready. Now, Eric McCready did not qualify.
No.
So did Don Warren, DJ Kenner, and Scott Shepard. Oh, and Jose Pugh.
Yep.
Them five did not qualify. Now, manufacturers tonight, are you pulling for a specific manufacturer tonight?
I mean, I'm a Porsche guy, so I have to go with the Porsche.
Okay. But your guy's not driving a Porsche.
I know he's not.
He-
Just because I like the manufacturer doesn't mean I have to like the driver. Or just because I like the driver doesn't mean I have to like his manufacturer.
Okay. Quit yelling at me. But I will say the Ferraris, I've been driving the Ferraris, and they drive really well. I actually, for us to figure out what our fuel timing was tonight, took the Ferrari around this track about 7 laps, and it handles well. Now, speaking of that, how does the fuel look at tonight? What does our window look like tonight?
So we're looking at about 36 minutes on fuel. All right. And if they're going around about, a minute 14, it'll probably be around lap 26, 27 when they come in for fuel.
Okay, but this is a timed race, so you said about 30. Well, if they're
About
doing
about
that, they may
36
be able to stretch it to about 38, 39 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's at the absolute most. I mean, we were using your baseline and you were more than these guys.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that could change down to, 34 minutes, let's say. But, I mean, it all depends on how much they're actually battling, how much fuel they're saving. So, I mean, really, it's a fluid time. So, I mean, around 36 minutes, but that'll be empty.
Yeah.
So
and tires, I will say, my tires when I was in this track was coming in around about lap 5. So, from my experience with these tires on these cars, they come in at it's. I'm going to say they're going to run out of they're going to have to pit around the 20 lap mark.
Okay.
That's my point on it. I think they're going to have to pit on that. We're getting ready to go into the grid, so let's see where people are starting at tonight. In the first position, we have Mason Neal. He's driving that little beautiful Lamborghini. In second place, we have JP Alfonso driving the Porsche. In third, we have Eddie Baker driving the Porsche. In fourth, we have Roger Clark, who is sitting. He is not gridded yet, but he's sitting in the Ferrari. Mike Weir is sitting in fifth in the Ferrari. Brian Mansfield is also going to be driving a Ferrari tonight. He's currently sitting sixth. David Tamaro is currently sitting seventh. He is driving the BMW. It's a beautiful car.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so then we got Canadian boy Sean Crooks, and then eighth in a Porsche, John Barry in. Oh, sorry, somebody just dropped. Oh, it's because there's Mike Weir dropping to the back of the field. So we got Sean Crooks in seventh, John Barry in eighth, James Smith ninth, Charles Harris in 10th, Drew Warren in 11th, Jamie Maudsley in 12th, Mike Killenbeck in 13th, Norman Chan 14th, Jose Puig in 15th, Eric McCready 16th, Scott Shepard 17th, Don Warren 18th. Then we got Mike Weir sitting 19th, and it doesn't look like DJ Kinner has gridded.
Okay. Maybe he's wanting to start from the back too. We'll see what happens tonight as these guys round out. They have one pace lap tonight before we go green, and these guys are going to try to warm up as much as they can on these tires because it's going to be it's definitely going to be a fast race tonight for sure.
It's going to be for sure. I mean, even when the NASCAR guys are here, it's fairly quick. So, I mean, but it may fly by for us, but the guys in the cars, no, it's going to feel like an eternity.
Yeah. They're doing 45 minutes. They're going to be averaging probably about 150 miles tonight. So,
yep.
It's definitely going to be a great race to watch tonight, and I think it's going to be a very entertaining race, especially with the guys that are up front. And maybe Mike Weir can make some moves to the front too after his penalty that he's got tonight as he sits on pit road.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see for sure. I mean, he's always a contender. He's always, fighting hard. So, I mean, I'm sure we can bet that we're going to see him making some moves throughout the field tonight.
Yeah, and I got a one more track fact before we end this, before we go into racing tonight. A track fact about Charlotte. NASCAR just hosted their longest race ever recorded in history on Sunday night. It was 619.25 miles.
Yep.
619 miles. They did the Coca-Cola 600 for Memorial Day. They did a tribute, and it was awesome to see. These guys are going to round out that final turn before the chicane. That pace car is going to dip in, and that green flag should drop around the chicane mark. So we're going to watch the chicane and see what happens. Pace car zips in. They're rounding out that final turn before the chicane. And Mason Neal is off.
They're green.
And they're green. Everybody seems to make it through that all right. And we have already a battle for that first position between JP and Mason Neal. And we're not even 15 corners into it yet.
No, we're 4 corners in, and I mean, like, you knew JP was going to come for him. I mean, he's almost on a warpath.
Yeah.
He wants that other win. He kind of wants to drop that third off of his record and go for another win.
Yeah, but Mason Neal's holding strong. He's currently got about a half a second gap on Alfonso right now, and Eddie Baker's is right behind him. Eddie Baker is currently sitting behind him about a second.
Yeah.
As they come down to the chicane here, seem to be taking it okay. No issues through the chicane. Let's take a look and see what everybody else does in the field. As we have moves, and there is an accident right there. Mike Ware is off track.
It looks like Norman Chan was in that as well.
Yep, there's definitely some heavy damage there. Let's go back and take a look. We'll follow along with Mike Ware.
Well, it looks like Norman Chan got into the wall, and Weir had really nowhere to go.
Yep. He just couldn't get it off the wall, and it collected a few guys. Tough break for Mike Ware. He's currently not a lap down yet, but I believe he may be going down there here soon. So.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate break for them.
Yeah, for sure. But as we look to the field, Brian Mansfield's still currently sitting 6th. He's driving that number 11 Autism Speaks car. We say it every week. Thank you, Mansfield, for the support you bring to that cause and that ailment that some people in the world have.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he says it every week that, he runs this for about a month, but I think he's run it for a bit more than a month now.
Yeah.
Who's complaining? Not me.
Not me either. So Roger Clark and Eddie Baker are currently sitting about a second from one another. Eddie Baker is currently sitting about a second behind JP Alfonso, and JP Alfonso is currently sitting about a second behind Mason Neal. So everybody's got about a second gap between everybody.
Yeah, I mean, they're all still feeling it out. They're, getting everything.
Oh, Mason Neal.
Up as Neal goes around.
Mason Neal does go around there, and that's going to put him back. JP is your new leader. Let's go back and take a look at it. Looks like he just gets loose. Oh, he grabs the grass right there.
Yeah.
And wow, that sucks for Mason Neal. Mason Neal currently sits in 17th now. But that go ahead.
I mean, really, he had no choice but to wait for everybody to go by because, I mean, he doesn't want to back out onto the track and, cause a hindrance for everybody else. So
yeah, good racing there, good racing strategy, and I don't think he's out of this yet.
I don't think so. I mean, he'll get that car into the pits, he'll get it fixed up, and he'll be hunting down, JP in that first position.
Yep, but as we sit right now, guys, let's go through the top 10. JP Alfonso currently holds that first position. Eddie Baker in second. Third is Roger Clark. I've not seen him too much this season. David Tamara is in fourth. Brian Mansfield's in fifth. Sixth is Sean Crooks. Seventh is James Smith. Eighth is Jose Pugh. Ninth is Charles Harris. And 10th is John Berry.
Yeah, so I do believe Roger is a new driver to the league. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he is a friend with one of the announcers that we bring in every once in a while, Ben.
Oh, okay. So this is Ben's friend. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, he currently holds that third spot right now behind Eddie Baker and JP. Let's go back and take a look on Mason Neal. Looks like his damage is repaired. So that's good to see. Now he's just got to hope that something happens up front.
And I'm not seeing how many quick repairs they have.
It's usually one. It's usually one with
Okay.
2 sets of tires, I believe. Maybe
Okay.
wrong, get the 2 sets of tires, but I know the quick repair, you only get one of them.
Gotcha. Okay.
So let's ride along with JP here. JP currently has a gyro cam that takes a look at him as we race. So we can see how he's going to fight around this car here. And you can see when he gets really close to that outside or inside retaining wall, going into turns 10 and 11 right here.
I mean, it's always a joy to watch JP drive. He always just seems so, like, calm and methodical in his movements, and you can see that in his car. You know, he's not all jerky, and well, I mean, it shows on the racetrack. You know, he's always out near the front each and every race. So.
Yep. But another guy that I want to take a look at and see if we can ride along with him. I think the Cruise has got a camera set up. I think it's a Roval cam, like we saw before. But that's going to be Brian Mansfield. He's new to this. So let's see how he's doing. And he's driving that beautiful Ferrari. I'm very familiar with that interior. I've been looking at it a lot here recently.
Yeah, with the purple lights in there, and make sure you see everything
Yeah, did I
that's
tell
going
you,
on.
you could change the lights inside. It's
Oh, can
freaking
you?
awesome. Yeah, you could change
Oh,
the
wow.
lights. You could change the colors in your setup menu. That seems to be, he's doing relatively well tonight with this.
Yeah, he is. For a stock car driver.
For a stock car driver who currently sits in that 5th position. Where did he go?
And he actually
Did he just drop?
back.
I think he
He
just.
might have just.
I think he lost connection.
Oh.
I don't see him. That is a bummer. Can you see if he dropped?
Yeah, I'll take a look here. It didn't say that he dropped.
Okay. That's weird.
Well, that's interesting for sure.
It is.
But that's unfortunate for him because I mean he was doing pretty well.
Yeah, he was definitely doing well tonight, and it sucks, but you know that's racing, and that's iRacing for you, really.
Yeah. As you see, Drew Warren there kind of flashing a little bit. That's a beautifully painted car, though.
Yeah, Drew Warren is driving that Ferrari tonight and doing all he can to keep that thing straight. It looks like coming off that turn.
Yeah. I mean, we're about 10 minutes in, so I mean, tires are probably sitting at about half of what they want, so.
Yeah.
Did he get up into the wall there?
It looked like he did. It definitely looked like he did there. Hopefully he didn't, but it did look like it.
We'll have to see if when he comes through the chicane if there's any damage. It doesn't look like it though.
No, but it did look like he got into it, so I'm just going to ride with him for just a second. Backing Productions let me know that there is a problem with the sound for the replay sound, so we're trying to get it fixed real quick. So Rob, how's your guy doing tonight? Is he still doing good?
Kinda. He's moved up 10 positions. He's sitting in the 7th position right now. So, I mean, he's moving. He's definitely moving. And, I mean, that's what he does, though. You know, he sits there and just waits for people to make a mistake and then just capitalizes on it.
That's what he's doing tonight, it looks like, for sure.
And it looks like did he change the color of his car?
I know, there's that left turn only car. What are you talking about for?
Oh, sorry. We're looking at somebody else. Okay. That's Jamie Maudsley in that left turn only Ferrari.
Sorry for me not conversating. I'll be back in just a second, guys. We're having a technical issue on the back end. It's not affecting the race, so we're going to continue on.
Alrighty. Oh, where are we sitting here? So JP Alfonso's got a gap on Eddie Baker of about 5.5 seconds, almost 6 seconds now.
Shut your mouth. Really?
Yes.
Wow. That is...
Eric McCready is now moved from 7th to 5th.
Yep, but I'm getting word that Scott Shepard crashed on lap 8. So let's take a look at that. Well, he had some damage, and he just gets loose right there in the bridge.
Yep.
And that's a weird place because it's a weird spot because you don't know where anybody is. It's a blind spot there, the way you set in these cars.
Yep.
So I'm getting word that Charles Harris has also now crashed.
Oh no.
It's going to be coming down to the chicane where we knew there was going to be some problems tonight. And I think that's the problem with. I think that's going to be a problem with tires. I'm also getting word Don Warren just crashed.
Oh wow!
I believe he's going to grab some grass right here. Maybe not. He just gets turned.
He's just going to overdrive that corner a little bit.
Yeah, not too terrible on that.
Nope.
Probably flat spot of the tire too. But.
Yeah, but there's no contact, and I mean, you know, you race it hard enough, you'll wear out that flat spot.
That's true. Let's just hope the flat spot don't affect him when racing.
It'll be hard to say. I mean, they're coming up to the 12-minute mark, so I mean, I don't know if he'll go down and get tires. I know if I was him, I would. 13
minutes into this?
We are only 13 minutes into this.
Oh man, I swear. Feels like we did half a race.
I mean, it almost feels like it. You said it'd go by quick, but I knew it wouldn't go by quick for the drivers, but it seems to be lasting a little bit longer for us as well.
Yep. So looking at the gap here, looks like JP has got a demanding lead over Roger Clark now, and there was a pass there. Let's about to take a look at it. Roger Clark made the pass for the front position because Eddie Baker was sideways.
Wow.
Back and take a look and see what happened with Eddie Baker. I believe he just got sideways out of that turn. Looked like he took a little bit of air there.
Yeah, he looks like he didn't get slowed down enough. And, yeah, he might have caught a little bump there and got a little bit of air and just knocked it loose.
Yeah, and that corner is tricky. It's kind of like the corner when you go to the bus stop at Watkins Glen.
Yep.
You can get as close as you can to that wall to maintain your speed, because the more you stay away from the wall, the more you have to slow down.
Yeah.
And that corner there, if you can barely graze it, not even graze it, but get really close to that wall, as JP does right there, you can maintain your momentum. But if you stay outside too much, you have to slow down, and that may have been what happened. He didn't get inside enough. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, he had Roger Clark coming up on him, so that may have, caused a little bit of an issue there.
Yeah.
So he didn't want to. He didn't know if he was coming on the inside or not. So.
Yeah, and John Berry and Scott Shepard were both in an incident, both on lap 11. Let's go back and look. John Berry already had a little bit of damage as they entered the backstretch chicane. Like he just got over the rumble strips a little too much there and just spins it.
Yeah.
And Scott Shepard is back in, and John Berry just crashed again. These officials have got their hands full tonight.
Yeah, they do. I mean, we knew this was a technical track, so, I mean, with the technical track, yeah, I think those tires are done.
Yeah, a lot of people are starting to have issues. You're going to see pit stops here soon. I'm going back and take a look at John Berry.
Yeah, he just caught the grass a little bit there.
Yep, and like he's fighting that car. He is, and just smacks that wall hard.
Yeah.
He said, screw it, I'm going to the pits.
Well, he did have a lot of damage on the front, so that toe may have been out on that car, so that may be why he was fighting the car so much.
Yeah. I'm in agreement with you. I told you probably about lap 15 to 20 these tires would be gone, and it does look like that's the case. But we do have a battle for position here between Eric McCready, actually a three-way battle for position between Eric McCready, David Tamara, and Eddie Baker.
Yep, for that third position. And I mean, that's the thing is, Eric McCready started in the back, and I said it at the start, he'll be coming through that field, and that's exactly what he's done, gaining 13 positions so far.
Yeah.
Oh, and it looks like somebody was around on the bridge there.
Yep, that's Mike Killenbeck is around.
He's got a little bit of damage on that right side.
Yeah, I bet you his toe is out of line for sure, and it just brings him on around. Not a lot of tap there, but you can see that the tires are definitely not lined there as we look at it from that back right corner panel.
Almost caused more of an incident here when the leaders come through there.
Yeah, they didn't see them. Their spotters. Luckily, their spotters are located up on that front stretch, so they're screaming at him. They'll go right. This guy's down inside. Right. So yeah, he's just trying to find a way to get turned back around without causing another incident. Good racing. Don't cause an incident trying to get out of an incident. Is what I say.
Yeah, exactly.
We do have Jose going into the pits there. He does have heavy damage on that vehicle, so that's probably a good call.
Yeah.
But JP is still your leader by a long shot. He's got some cars, 8.5 seconds, and he's got a lap car between them, Jamie Maudsley.
Yeah, but I mean, Eric McCready's closing in that gap. I mean, he's only 12 seconds back right now.
Wow.
And I mean, really, to Eric McCready, that's like 2 car lengths.
I mean, you know what? Touche, because we've seen him spin, get loose at Monza, and then make a comeback and have a 1/1000th of a second loss. Mike Killenbeck has actually crashed again. Let's go and take a look at it. These tires are gone. These guys need to start thinking about a pit stop soon. Oh, his car is just toast. He said, I can't even drive it. I'm going to call for a tow truck.
Yeah. He tried.
Yeah. But he'll
So
get it
I was
fixed.
mistaken. I was mistaken. They actually have unlimited quick repairs in this.
Do they? Okay.
Yes.
I thought it was one. Well, that's good then. That's good then. Guys watching, if you are a iRacing fan, you do race on the service. These guys race Monday through Wednesday. Well, actually, they race Monday through Thursday. We broadcast Monday through Wednesday with these guys, and they do a lot of stuff. So,
yep.
You're more welcome to come out here and hang out with us, and possibly get your name shouted out somewhere, and become internet famous.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what everybody seems to do nowadays.
It's Sunday through Thursday that we race.
Oh yeah, forgot about the trucks on Sunday.
Yeah,
and
we have
MX5.
NASCAR Truck Series and the MX5. Essentially, it's a road to, or learn the ropes of road racing, essentially.
Yeah, and I'm actually in that course right now, running that series. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some unfortunate turns when it's come to that. So.
Yeah, you have. I've never seen somebody have so much bad luck as you on that series.
I mean, I've had cars sitting on top of me. I've ran into the ass end of someone, unintentionally.
Well, that's where you learn, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, put me on an oval track where I only have to turn left, and I'll do all right.
Good stuff. Well, getting back to the action here, we did have a second place change, because Baker went into the pits. He said, I was done sliding across this track.
Yep.
So he's currently in 11th, and David Clark is currently sitting. Is that right?
Roger Clark.
Roger Clark is currently sitting second. I'm trying to find him on the timing screen. There he is. And Eric McCready's slowly catching him. JP is already out of the chicane as these guys just now are entering it. But not Eric McCready, Mike Ware in the number. Was that Mike Ware? Who was that? Jamie Maudsley got sideways coming out of that chicane there, it looked like. It looked like he was having some issues there, for sure. Didn't have any damage, so.
Well, I mean, you can see him slowing down a lot more for those corners in the chicane.
Yeah.
So I think his tires are just about done, and he's probably looking to pit here soon.
Yeah, and so far the top 8 have not pitted. The top 8 drivers have not pitted. So.
Yeah, so we're coming into minute 22 of this race. So I mean, we estimated around minute 25, minute 22.
Yeah.
That they would come in for tires. Well, we're there. So you should expect to see, the leaders come in here soon.
Yeah, and looking like Charles Harris just made his way onto pit road. And looking from 9th place back have done some sort of pit stop. Jose Pugh going in on the 14th lap, Baker going in on the 15th lap. Charles Harris is now on pit road, so it'll be whatever lap he is currently sitting on. Neil pitted in 10th, Weir is pitted on lap 8, and Maudsley and Shepard. Well, Jamie Maudsley pitted on lap 11th, and Shepard pitted on lap 8.
Yeah. So what are pit times looking like right now?
Pit stop times total.
Yeah.
Looks like they're looking at about 15 seconds for the back 9. So when we were in practice, when I was practicing this, a full change car tires and fuel was 50 something seconds.
Yeah, I believe it was about 54 seconds, and it looks like Eric McCready is taking to the pits as well.
Yeah, McCready is on pit road. So these guys may just be going with fuel, which if that's what they're doing, they're monsters.
Well, I mean, you've seen it, time and time again where, they've done that, just taking fuel. But it looks like Eric McCready, the pit time was about 13 seconds, I think. So
these guys are doing. Maybe I need to fire my pit crew. I got my mom and my dad out there doing my pit stops for me. I don't know.
Yeah,
sorry, Mom.
I-
sorry, Dad, but I'm going to have to fire you and get somebody that's faster.
Yeah, I think you might actually have to hire a pro team to do that.
Yeah, but do you know how much money I make as a commentator?
Yeah, the same amount as I do.
Yeah, about $8 a month. And then we have to split it. So, all right. So, looking through the field here, JP Alfonso has put a lot of guys in between first and second place. They put Mike Weir and Charles Harris between the two. That's big. That's big.
It is.
But JP is, I think he's got some music. But I believe he's got some Fall Out Boy playing right now, and just, I'm not going to sing a song because I don't want to get copyrighted, but he's just cruising. He's cruising and trying to, I believe he may even be able to save some tires now because of the gap that he does have on second place. It's a 12-second gap right now.
Yeah. I mean, but you see that every week from him. He just gets out front and just cruises.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Sunday drive out here for him now.
Yeah, and he was saying how he wasn't going to do good at this track.
Yeah. We might have to have a chat with him and be like, are you sure? 'Cause,
Are you sure? Yeah, I agree. Looks like Roger Clark is fixing to overtake Mason Neal, which will put him a lap down behind second place now. Mason Neal is a lap down. He was the leader. He qualified first, but he had that incident coming off of the bridge. And unfortunately, he is the lap down now. So he may be out of contention to win the race, unfortunately.
Yeah, because it looks like we only have 11 drivers on the lead lap right now.
Yep. Make that 9 drivers.
9 drivers. Okay.
I think. No. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drivers.
Yeah, well, it's changed.
Yeah, it's changing quickly.
Yeah.
And it's because of these pit stops, too.
Yeah. I mean, the way JP is driving right now, it's crazy. I mean, he's 13 seconds ahead of second. He's got 4 cars in between them. So, I mean, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, but looking over at the pit stop laps again, McCready and Pugh and Warren, Pugh and McCready have both pitted now. McCready was on lap 18. We're currently sitting on lap 22, and Pugh is on lap 14. Alfonso has not pitted. We have decided, or we have come to the agreement that you have to pit in this race or you're not going to have enough fuel to make it. No matter if you save, you're not going to have enough fuel to make it.
Yeah, we estimated about 36 minutes of fuel. We're currently at minute 27. So, I mean, he's got another, supposedly another 10 minutes on fuel.
So,
or 9 minutes on fuel.
So you're telling me that he's got to pull 9 minutes of fuel? Is that right? You're telling me 9 minutes of fuel, some out of the air, I guess, to make it to the end?
No. What I'm saying is he should have about 9 minutes of fuel left.
I got you. So if he didn't pit, and his pit strategy was to not pit, he would have to pull 9 minutes out of the air somewhere.
Yeah, he would have to pull 9 minutes out of the air somewhere.
Well, he ended up winning by 1/1000th of a second at Monza, so
and he comes into pit lane.
Scratch that, he pits now.
I think he heard us.
Maybe he did. And Roger Clark, unless he comes down to pit road, which he is going to right now.
Yep.
McCready, let's see where he is on track. McCready is going to enter the chicane. This is going to be a close one for JP for sure. Let's watch it down at the bottom. JP is on pit road. He's currently in the pit. Let's jump back. He's currently sitting there, but McCready is coming up strong. And I just lost his name.
And JP's coming out. He's back on track, but he still holds, a 25-second or 9-second lead.
Close. JP is on track now, and McCready is right behind him. that was a good move by Alfonso. Now Alfonso's going to have, I'm not sure what he took. Looking at the
I think he may have
times,
just took fuel.
he may have just took maybe right sides, maybe, and fuel, because he did last a little bit longer on that pit stop time.
Yeah, it looks like it was about 15 seconds on the pit time, so.
Yep, and it will record here in just a second of what he did. But now Eric McCready is going to have a chance to catch up.
Yeah, and I mean, these two, they put on a hell of a show when they get together in, P1 and P2. So, I mean, we're in for a real treat now with, 15 minutes left of racing.
And JP is, maybe it's the cold tires, and maybe it's just him trying to put some distance, but he's seen him get on the rumble strips there. He's just trying to get something going. Hopefully he does not spin out. Hopefully nothing happens with him and he can get through this race unscathed. If he does, we're going to have a heck of a battle towards the end there.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, but you've seen it all night. He's able to create that gap seemingly out of nowhere.
Yes.
1 minute he's, a second ahead, and then the next second he's, 15 seconds ahead. So, I mean, it's hard to say. But it looks like, McCready is reeling him down. He's only about 4.5 seconds back now.
Yeah, that's true. But, these tires for JP is going to come in soon. And they're going to be back up to temp like his other tires were, but they're going to have more grip. And then it's just going to be who can, stay mistake-free and cut down as much time between one another. So JP's wanting to increase the time, and McCready's wanting to decrease that time. So who's going to do which there?
I mean, it'll be hard to say. I think we can see, JP trying to push the car a little more, especially as these tires come up to temp, because they are newer, and, McCready's are, I believe it was lap 14 that he went into the pits. So,
yes,
I mean,
that's true. So, he may have to pit again. If he's on a non-save strategy, he may have to pit again.
he might have to,
And
but it's hard to say.
It is hard to say. Baker is now made his way up to 7th place now. And, I say that, he's going into the pits. I need to quit talking.
Yeah, it seems like it. Every time you start to mention somebody, they start dropping.
Yeah, and that's not... Sorry, Eddie, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I didn't make that call. Your spotter did and your crew chief did. I'm just saying.
So it looks like Alfonso has started to increase that lead. Now it's 5.25 seconds. So
yep. And Eddie Baker is out of the pits right now. He's exiting, coming off the pit road lane there, and JP is right behind him. JP may overtake him here, and that was only going to leave just a few drivers on the lead lap. You hate to see it.
yeah, you really do. But that's part of road racing and timed racing. When you don't get the full course cautions to bring everybody back together again. So
Yeah, and that's the only thing I do not like about road racing is I think that if somebody crashes, and this is just my opinion now, you can shoot me in the foot if you want to, but I think if you were going to wreck, and there's going to be a wreck, I think it should bring everybody back together. But it just doesn't.
Well, I mean, I agree with you, but I don't at the same time. I mean, because these, road races are normally fairly long, by the time they get everything cleaned up, the leader's coming back around. So, I mean...
Yeah. And I get that.
I mean, if everything's strewn across the track, then, I mean, that's a little different. But...
And I have, I just now noticed this, but it's tough break is going to go down. Our worst break, our tough break, is going to go to Brian Mansfield tonight. As of right now, Brian Mansfield is currently sitting out of this race.
Yeah, I believe he did get a little bit of a disconnect there.
Yep.
Yeah, so he did drop. due to packet loss. So that's a tough break for him tonight. And you know, I'm sure he was excited about this race. I mean, we were excited to see him in this race.
Yep.
And yeah, unfortunately, you know, the joys of technology happen. So
Yeah. And Scott Shepard is supposedly crashed on lap 25. Let's take a look at it. Oh, he just gets loose.
yeah,
Grabs that wall, and it looked like, hang on, did I hear that right? He may have actually blown or had some engine damage from that. Those are some hard hits for the drivers. Those are the hits you don't want to see.
yeah, it seems like he is quite slow there.
But our Virginia native, Roger Clark, is currently sitting fourth. And, you know, any friend of Ben's is a friend of mine. So, you know what? Good luck, Roger, and I hope you win tonight. Hope you're able to find something. But he's got to get through Norman Chan, Mike Killenbeck, and John Barry to do it. I actually take that back. He's got to get through Jose and Eric to make it to JP. And the gap between them right now is about 24 seconds to the leader.
Yeah, so I mean, it's tough, but it's doable because, I mean, we've seen Eric McCready do it. So, mind you, he had a little bit of help because JP had to come into the pits, but it is doable. So, just because you're 24 seconds back doesn't mean you're out.
No, it doesn't, but it does mean that that JP is going to have to walk away with something because he's currently 4 seconds. That gap has been between 4 and 5 seconds all night long between these two.
Yeah. So, I mean, Eric's got to really dig deep. He's got to really push his car to get up there. But, you know, he is on the older tires, so
Yep.
Is that going to hurt him, you know, when push comes to shove and he really has to, you know, put the throttle to the floor?
Yep. And Sean Crooks and James Smith look to be battling, maybe? Let me look here.
JP Alfonso's right behind him.
Yeah, that's true. So that's Sean Crooks right there. And James Smith is right behind him. This is a position battle for the sixth position, I mean. This is a position battle for sure, and we're going to tag along to see how they do it. Actually, it looks like it's a three-way battle. No, Scott Shepard is not in contention there.
No. But Mason Neal is, and he's not that far behind.
Nope, but neither is Don Warren. Don Warren's right there with Mason Neal. Well, I mean, it's about 4 seconds back, but they're there.
Yeah.
And he's trying to stay in his draft line, but he's got to push a little bit hard. Oh, he's maybe gaining a little bit there. You know, these guys are going to start closing their braking distance down to start gaining up on these guys. You know, we're less than 10 minutes left of this race, and you know, McCready has actually got the lead down to 3.5 seconds.
Oh wow.
Actually, take that back. It's 2 seconds between these
5
two.
to 2 in
A half a lap.
you know, yeah.
And I believe it was the was that lap car. Jamie Maudsley was giving some issues, but you see Eric there make a costly mistake of grabbing that inside retainer wall, and that caused that gap to shoot back up to about 3 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, is there a little bit of aero damage on that car now?
Let me see when they come by here. I can take a look. Well, I'm moving all over the thing. I'm trying to find his name. It doesn't look like there is. But he is going to have to battle that lap traffic, Jamie Maudsley.
Yeah,
So-
and I mean, it gave JP issues, but I mean, is he going to do the same for Eric McCready, or is he just going to let him by?
Well,
I don't know. Let me tell you. JP comes into more lap traffic.
So let me tell you a little story about these two, Jamie Maudsley and JP. They're friends. They may have a pack, you know. Defend a little bit, not enough to get your penalty, you know, to get a penalty, but defend just a little bit. Let me get ahead of him a little bit.
Yeah.
There could be an agreement there. So
the thing is also, you know, you have Jamie Maudsley there, but you have Charles Harris right in front of him. So right there is a battle for position. And then the leaders are mixed in with that. So, you know,
yeah.
so
and
it's
a
kind of
four-way
hard.
battle right now. It looks like. Or I say it's a four-way battle. There's two battles for two different positions by four different drivers. So, and it just so happens that McCready and Alfonso are opposite of each end of this. So, and he's trying to find somewhere to pass, and it's just not happening for him. And he made that pass there, and JP was able to make somewhat of an increase in that lead.
He's up to about 3.5 seconds now. So
yeah, but you've seen how quickly that Eric McCready brought that in. We are
Yeah,
less
that's
than
true.
5 minutes to go, guys. We're not going anywhere. We're not taking you side by side. We are not taking you side by side. We're going to see how this final 5 seconds goes, or 5 minutes. I'm looking at a good finish between this tonight.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. So McCready does get by that lap traffic. but
Barely.
He's 4 seconds back now.
Barely.
Yeah, barely. But, you know, he's 4.5 seconds back now. So is he going to have enough
But there's
to
some
reel JP in?
There's some heavy damage on that car. As you see, Jamie Maudsley brake checked Charles Harris there.
Might have just been like, hey, this is my position. Leave me alone.
And that sometimes they do that.
Yep. So JP was able to stretch that gap out just a touch, as it looks like McCready's going around. He got a little loose there. I don't know if he caught that inside wall or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but that's going to cause JP to increase that gap to 7 seconds. That may have been
Wow.
costly for him.
And you can see heavy damage on that left front.
Yeah, he's going to definitely get a little more drag there. Definitely going to get a little more drag there because of that.
Yeah, so I mean, to answer our question, do tires play play a part in it? Well, clearly it did.
Yeah. It definitely did. And Clark has moved his way up to third now. But Clark is going to have to make some... He's going to have to wish for a miracle to catch up to JP. Because JP is about up to him.
Yeah. They're about 27 seconds apart right now, and wow. I mean, even if he wants that second position, I mean, he's got, 20 seconds to close in on McCready. So
That's true. That's true. I think if I was you, I would defend tomorrow when he catches you, if he catches you in these final 2 minutes,
Yep.
and just take a podium tonight. Don't overdrive your car, and you'll do well. As you see JP, they cross each other where the barrier was.
yeah. As JP fights around Scott Shepard there.
Yep. Scott Shepard, it's a lap car. He's driving the McLaren tonight, and I like that car. That's a simple paint scheme, and it's a good-looking paint scheme.
It is. I just love the flames that come out of the back of that thing the entire race.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Take a look at Mike Ware. Remember, he took that penalty from the last week for driving erratically like he did at the end of the race. He's currently sitting 13th, but he is not on the lead lap. He's 1 lap down
No,
currently.
he's a lap down, yeah.
And Norman Chan is showing to be out of the race. Just trying to
Yeah,
figure
that's
out where's where, you know. Oh, well, he's closed the gap. It's down to 4 seconds. 4 to 5 seconds.
It's about 5 seconds, but I mean, they're 44 minutes right now. So
And it should be checker flag when JP gets to the front here. So, this is going to be the final.
It might be white flag when he comes.
No, according to what I've been reading in the rule book, this is definitely going to be the last lap. And I'll send you the rule book when we get done for this race. But Eric's got about 5 more turns to catch him, and I don't think it's going to happen tonight.
I don't think so. I think JP's pretty much got a lock on this right now. I mean, he's had it basically the entire race.
Yep. And as they round out turn number 14 there, coming down to the chicane, it is going to be checkered flag. JP Alfonso is going to be your winner tonight, and he's going to win in fashion. Eric McCready is going to be following behind about a second.
4 seconds back.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, about 4 seconds.
The gap's about 4 seconds.
Yep, and I'm getting word that Mason Neal and Scott Shepard have crashed. Jamie Maudsley, Harris had finished, Shepard had finished, and looks like there's an accident up front.
It looks like McCready got into JP there. JP's doing it. Oh, yeah.
Well, good racing by these guys tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's always a pleasure to see them drive, and we knew JP was he was going for it. So, yep. I mean, I'm sure he's ecstatic right now. When we talked to him pre-race, he's like, "Yeah, I'm not too confident." Well, I mean, clearly he had some confidence because I mean he led 95% of the race. So.
Yep. And that is the final car to cross the finish line. Let's go over our results for the night. Now, this is not including any time penalties, any penalties that the officials may want to pack on at the end for incidents that may happen. These are the official, unofficial results for the end of this race. JP Alfonso will be your unofficial winner tonight. Eric McCready comes in second. Roger Clark is in third. David Tamara in fourth. Jose Pugh in fifth. Sean Crooks is finishing sixth tonight. James Smith in seventh. Mason Neal in eighth. Ninth is Don Warren. 10th is Drew Warren. 11th is Jamie Maudsley. 12th is Charles Harris. 13th is Mike Weir. Eddie Baker finished 14th. 15th is Scott Shepard. 16th is Killenbeck. 17th is John Berry. 18th is Brian Mansfield. And Norman Chan, DJ Kenner rounded out at 19th and 20.
Yep.
Well, let's go ahead and chat with these guys.
All right, let's see if we can get JP down here. JP, this is Rob in the booth. How you got me?
How you guys doing?
Jesus
not
Christ.
Too bad as I see you go Mars bound.
That's the way we celebrate. That's the way we celebrate here.
I mean, pre-race we talked to you. You said you weren't that confident, but I mean, you led 95% of the race, and finish out front. So you got to be feeling great about that.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually like always. It's always a surprise because when I was practicing, I mean, I didn't got enough time to practice this week, and in the little bit of practice I did, I was hitting the walls left and right, and so so today I decided to just stay away from the walls, and maybe that will work out better for me.
Yeah, well, I mean, you did it tonight. I mean, you had a few close calls with that inside wall there coming onto the oval section, but you were able to hold off McCready even though he was reeling you in. I mean, he had you down to about a 2.5 second lead, and your fresher tires seem to have spared you some.
Yeah, I mean, I encountered a couple of lap cars, and I was trying to be cautious not to make any erratic move, and don't try to pass anybody unless it was safe to do so. So that usually that hold me back a little bit, but but turned out to be fine.
So, coming off the incident you had last week with Mike Ware, um, if he hadn't got the penalty, do you think he would have been a contender tonight?
I'm not sure. I don't think I managed to see his time in practice. I was dealing with some technical issues, and by the time I solved those issues, it was already almost time to qualify. So I don't know. I had to go back and look and see what his lap time were, but I mean maybe. I mean he's a very good driver. I mean in the same way Eric. I was prepared to battle with Jose and Eric like. I see them in my sleep every night. So
Pretty ugly dreams, I guess. No, I'm joking.
well, Jose is very handsome.
Oh,
so
is he?
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good racing tonight, and I guess you get to restart your win streak since you didn't win last week. Yeah,
Yeah, fresh start. Just a fresh start.
that's it.
The past is in the past. Let's keep moving forward.
Yep, the past is the past. The future is now. So
It's going faster.
it's going faster.
Yeah.
Well, good luck. Well, next week we're at Long Beach. I've driven on the road that y'all are gonna be racing on. It's tight. It's a very, very tight race. What do you think about it? Do you think you're gonna do okay?
Well, I got a couple of invisible bumpers that I'm gonna install on the side of my car, and that will keep me away from the walls. So no, I mean me and that place we don't get along. Period. It's one of those places that the more laps you do, the closer the walls appear to be, and eventually at one point after 45 minutes they start moving in towards you. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Just blink your eyes a few times. You may have to get your spotter to remind you to blink because it's going to be so fast paced. You're not going to want to miss anything. Good luck tonight. Our great job tonight. Good luck next week. We Tuesday night. Yeah, we will be able to broadcast that next week. And yeah, it's going to be a great race. I'm excited. Before you go, anything you got to say to the fans out there?
I mean, that question always caught me off guard. But everybody tune in, and the more people that tune in, the more successful this broadcast will be. And eventually, at one point, I hope that we will reach all the sim racers out there.
Yep, that is a wish that we all have here at United Racing Network. Again, great job tonight, JP, and we'll see you next week in Long Beach.
Thank you, guys. Always a pleasure.
And thanks, JP.
All right, is Eric around?
Yeah, let's see if we can get Eric down here. Eric, this is Rob in the booth. How you got me?
Oh, I got you loud and clear.
All right. Well, you started 17th. Yeah, started 17th, finished second. You were slowly reeling in. JP, did your older tires really play that much of a part in JP's win tonight?
I'm sure he had some old tires too. I was pushing him really hard.
Yeah, you even got a little loose there going into the turn after the bridge, which I think that set you back a little bit.
Oh yeah, dude. I was driving around like a Scandinavian drifter.
Hey, keep it clean. No, I'm joking. I didn't know what you were going to say.
Well, the Scandinavians are known for their rally driving.
That's true. That's true. But you did good. I mean, you closed that gap, and even after that incident that put you almost 8 seconds back, you cut that lead or cut that distance in half down to 4 seconds. How did you do it?
A mixture of lap traffic, and I was that turn I lost it in over the bridge, or no, after the bridge, just before you go out onto the oval for the first time. I was taking it really easy through there most of the night, and then I just started hammering it like I do in qualifying, and it shaved quite a bit of time off. I put like a 114 at some point in, but came back to bite me as well. So.
Yeah, we were thinking that tires were going to be a problem tonight, and apparently, I mean, you could tell about halfway through the race when we were getting to our pit window for the tires that it just started affecting everybody. And unfortunately, there towards the end, I think with you pitting on lap 14 like you did, that puts you back in that same situation because you're really approaching your pit window for tires quickly. So we were seeing that there towards the end.
Yeah, I think it's like 40 seconds if you want to take tires, so it's not worth it. But those last 10 laps, you would kill for a set of rubber.
Yep. Well,
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, that's what we figured was, the last about halfway through is when you want new tires, but yeah, when your pit stops are 40 seconds and your lap times are only 1:15, well, then yeah, it's not really worth it to go.
Yeah, I tell you what though, like the best lap I put in, like, or anybody probably put in, is that first lap right out of the pit after you fill up with fuel.
Yeah, you get that
when
weight
you're
in the
full of fuel early in the race.
Yep, you get that weight in the rear end for sure. It will help you.
Oh yeah, it feels like a brand new car for maybe 2 laps, and then it feels like you're driving a Model T on solid rubber wheels around there.
Wow, I figured it'd be a Model T on blocks.
Yeah, blocks ice maybe.
Yeah, that's it. Well,
No, that was a great race. I mean, I hope it was fun to watch. Just a lot of position changes, a lot more position changes, I think, than what we normally have. And
I could tell you this: the timing screen was freaking out about halfway through and did not stop till we finished the race. I was trying to find names, and they were going everywhere. I couldn't even stay on them too much. So,
and it sucks for Mason. Mason was ungodly fast.
Yeah, and Mason ended up finishing about a minute back from the leaders.
Yep.
Not that bad. That's not that bad.
It's not that back. Yeah, he finished 8th. He's still top 10. It's still a good position.
Yep.
It's just a horrible spot to get himself turned around and have to let everybody by.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, especially in that section of the track. But, I mean, he fought well because he was sitting, I believe, 18th. So.
Yeah, and he had the fastest lap of the race, too.
Did he? Yeah, he did. 1:14.74.
Oh, wow.
Wow. And then, yeah, second lap was held by yourself, so.
That's how I knew he had the fastest.
Yeah, I mean, it seems every week we're at a road course, you're the one that holds the fastest lap. So, I mean, for somebody else to come and take that away from you, I mean, it's going to be a little heart-wrenching.
Yeah. Well, the difference between Mason and myself is that I only run GT3. Mason barely runs GT3. He's just naturally talented, and I don't have any of that natural talent.
So you got to get out there and practice every night, right?
I wish, man. I got kids, man. I got a baby. I get out there and practice Tuesday night, 20 minutes before the race.
There you go. Imagine what you could do with that with a full day of practice.
Probably not much better than what I could do now. Kind of goes back to that natural talent thing that I don't have.
There it is.
I plateaued.
There you go. Well, good job tonight, Eric, and we'll see you next week at Long Beach. Make sure to bring your Hawaiian shirt because I'm going to the beach afterwards, and I'm hosting a party.
Oh, man. That is going to be a S-word show. Look at that. Watching my language.
Oh, there you go.
Don't worry. We've already got it rated at PG-13. Don't feel bad.
Oh, so you're allowed like 1?
Heck, at this point, maybe at rated R. All right,
Eric. It's again, it's been a pleasure to talk to you, and we hope to talk to you next week as well.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, thanks.
All right, and let's like Roger popped in on the channel there, so let's pull him down.
Yep, we'll see if we can get him in. Roger, this is Rob in the booth. How you got me?
Great. How do you got me?
All right, we got you good. So, I mean, you started 4th, you finished 3rd, you were sitting 2nd for a little bit until you had to pit, essentially. How are you feeling for your first race here at Happy Hour?
Actually, it's my second. I raced at Bathurst last week, and Had a little incident coming down the hill with contact, and ended up finished 7th, I believe. But loving it. It's great fun.
Yep. So you were a few seconds back from the lead cars, JP and Eric. I said there towards the end of the race, you just need to kind of settle in, and just defend anybody that come up on you. But 4th place was another 20 seconds behind you. Do you feel good with your place that you finished tonight, or are you wishing you had something else?
I got nothing in these cars. I mean, not to belittle anybody that finished below me, but these are definitely not my preference of car to race. But this season, I'm actually liking them, so maybe they'll become my car. But yeah, I was just racing my straight, consistent laps, one after another, trying not to crash, which is what I usually do in a GT3 car, which is also why I don't race them. Prefer to stick to my Mazda MX-5. But yeah, I had nothing for those two. Nothing at all.
Well, I mean, maybe here in as the season progresses, you might be sitting up in the podium. Who knows?
Perhaps. I hope so.
Yeah, we were. Go ahead.
It's not at all what I expected. I really figured I'd be mid-pack, kind of like I was in practice. But yeah, it worked out. People crashed in front of me, and I managed not to hit them. I guess that's the important part.
Yep, and we were discussing how Ben actually brought you in here, and so any friend of his is a friend of ours for sure, and it's good to see one of our friends in the top 3 tonight. So
yeah, I'm hoping maybe one day he'll come over and get the wheel that I told him I would give him and race with us.
Yeah, tell him again. You can call him out right now.
I just did.
Yeah.
So you heard that, Ben.
He's still watching.
And I know he is.
Heard that, Ben. Go get the wheel, get your butt on here, and start turning some laps with everybody. Come on now. All right. I called him out for you.
All right, Roger. All right, Roger. Well, it's great to talk to you. We hope to talk to you next week as well. Do you have anything to say to your fans out there?
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Appreciate the support. And hopefully I'll gather some new fans along the way as we go. I do participate in chat as well in the other broadcasts because I work pretty much every other league race except for the MX-5 and Legends. So hopefully I'll see you on the podium next week. It'll be great.
Yep. Good job.
Right.
Well,
sounds good.
Thank you.
That is the 3rd place guy tonight. He's sitting the lowest on the podium, but he's still a podium. That's all that matters in the world of GT3. Hopefully everybody that finished behind him can get better spots come next week. Nobody finished in a bad spot. They just finished behind the leaders. So,
yep. I mean, there were some tough breaks out there as well. I mean, Brian Mansfield is. I'm getting reports that his router decided to reset on him.
Oh, that sucks.
So that's why he dropped out of the race, and then Norman Chan. Had that little bit of an accident there, and yeah, it was. Well, I mean, as you said, the timing tower and the events tower kind of just went off. So, I mean, there was cars everywhere.
Yeah, I couldn't keep up with it. I know neither could you. So,
No.
All right, Rob. Well, we're gonna break it down and finish out with some overall key points that we're gonna look out for in next race. Have you looked over the track at all next week?
I've not. I'm
gonna give you 15 seconds to Wikipedia Long Beach Circuit because I've raced it. I hate it. It's gonna be tight. There's all turns are 90-degree turns. It's a tough track. Heck, even the last turn going up to the straightaway is a hairpin 180. So I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't like this.
No. You see how tight it is?
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's tight, and I don't like it. But you know what? That's why they pay me to sit here in the booth. The $4.32 I make a month.
I mean, it'll make for interesting racing,
Yes,
I'm sure.
yes, because most of the cars that go there, I know Formula One goes there. I know Indy goes there. Those cars are narrow. They're long and narrow. These cars, these Ferraris and Lamborghinis and Porsches. They don't make them any smaller than what you buy from the dealership.
No.
So, I believe we'll have a lot of side by side action, but I also think we'll see a lot of. I think you have to qualify well to finish well at that race. That's my take on it.
Yeah, and I mean, just a quick look at it, I'm going to have to agree with you because, I mean, I don't see where you're going to pass there. I mean, if at
There's
all,
only a
unless
few
somebody
spots.
spins. So
The widest turn is on turn 9, I think, and that's the widest place that you can go. But the problem is getting there. You're so narrow. You're single wide, or you're single file. So, all right. Well, that's my final thoughts on next week's race. It's gonna be a wild ride.
It will be, and I mean, it's going to be a long night because we stream that till about 11 o'clock. I gotta go to bed and wake up at 3 o'clock to go jump on a plane.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a rough night for sure.
Yeah. So this race, we knew it was going to be action packed. I really thought a NASCAR guy would have come out with it, but JP restarted his win streak.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we said it time and time again. He's a contender. He wants to be out front. He wants revenge for last week, and essentially he got it.
Yep. He done it the right way by winning the race.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I'm excited for next week. I'm actually excited for tomorrow as well. So, I mean, tomorrow we're at New Hampshire with the next gen cars, and that'll be a fun race as well.
Yeah. So, with that, guys, you heard it here first. We'll be at New Hampshire tomorrow night at what time, Rob?
We're going to be live at 8:15.
7:15 Central. So, I just wanted to try it one time, see how it would work.
I mean, it worked pretty good.
There you go. All right. Well, guys, if you're watching tonight and you had a good time, make sure you hit the follow button. If you're feeling generous, make sure you can subscribe. We have our donation link in the bottom that you can donate to if you feel like it. Drop us some bits. We appreciate you guys. Be safe tonight. Lock your doors, and like I said, be safe. We'll see you tomorrow night at New Hampshire. Rob, what you got to say to him? You got anything else to say?
No, just hope everybody comes back for tomorrow's race in New Hampshire, and it'll be fun.
Yep.
I can't wait to see y'all.
Yep. And with that, my name is Andrew Spears. Rob McDonald is my co-host. We are the United Racing Network. We'll see you tomorrow night at what time, Rob?
8:15.
7:15 Central. Have a good night, guys. this broadcast is the property of the United Racing Network and Twitch.tv. All reproductions of this broadcast must be approved by the United Racing Network staff. United Racing Network does not claim any responsibility for mishaps that may occur while listening to this production. United Racing Network reserves the right to delete, mute, unpublish, and or move streaming locations without notice. The opinions of the announcers are not influenced by sponsorship, league administration, or any other outside entities. Thank you.